It's just unbelievable and amazing to see them tout our great U.S. military flying baby formula from Europe to back to the United States as some sort of political win for them. It's embarrassing. Their priorities are so totally out of whack with the American people.
Well, she's not wrong. Rachel Campos Duffy there, Fox and Friends Weekend co-host. She went after, on this very program, the Biden administration as Europe is bailing America out of the baby formula crisis. Now the Wall Street Journal reports the FDA is putting the brakes on that. It started confiscating large amounts of formula that's coming from Europe for reasons such as non-English labeling, like Americans wouldn't be able to follow the directions. Somebody could translate that for us. We have Google. Scoop sizes. What the American government can't fix that. They can't send along a couple of appropriate scoop sizes. They've got warehouses full of backup. Maybe the formula has expired, but the scoops haven't. And storage safety. Oh, my list is long. The Journal argues, quote, if the FDA refuses to leave baby formula to the market and American parents' own judgment, it could help directly by providing English language instructions, converting to American-sized scoops, and explaining European health and safety standards. The approach carries its own risks, but isn't it better than seizing and destroying thousands of pounds of baby formula in the middle of a national crisis? Well, of course it is. I didn't realize they were going to ruin all of it. Jason Rantz, Seattle radio talk show host. You couldn't make up the part where they're completely incompetent when it comes to this.
No, and you know what, this really does shine a spotlight on the difference between how a Democrat and a Republican would approach this, right? You have Democrats who are all about the regulations, over-regulating. They think that they know best no matter what, and they will never take their eye off of trying to regulate something. And then you have the Republicans who certainly understand that regulation has a role, and it should have a role. But at some point, you look at an emergency and you question whether or not the regulations are getting in the way. When you have someone who is a supporter of business, maybe thinks like a business person would, what would you immediately say when told, well, some of the labels aren't in English? Okay, let's print some in English and just literally put them on the formula packages and send it out, or give the instructions. Google it, go online. There are so many ways to do it, and parents are smart enough to be able to look this up. They obviously don't want to hurt their kid, and so the parent will go and find the information that they need. There are so many easy ways around this problem, and yet instead of attacking it, we just have a photo of a shipment of baby formula on a plane, and we're like, yeah, we just did it. We just single-handedly cured what ails us. And clearly they're not doing what they need to do.
And I want to make it clear, when I say Google it, you can speak into your phone and go to a site that goes from one language to the other, and it will spit it out in English. It's seriously that easy. I'm not saying go to Google to figure out how to feed your baby. Go to Google to get the instructions translated. Twitter does it if you push the translate button. Anyway, an NBC News opinion piece calls out Biden's misguided approach that means worried parents will continue to see empty store shelves for weeks to come. Quote, this crisis did not need to happen. The same companies that make formula in this country have plants in Europe where there are no shortages. The shortage became a crisis before the government adopted temporary measures that only nip at the edges of the problem. The parents of America and their babies deserve better than that. Jason.
Yeah, that's 100% correct. I mean, look, I am all about protecting American companies who are putting out products like these, but you have to ensure that you are not allowing for just one company to basically own the market or have a huge share of the market, because then you're just asking for trouble. This is not a particular industry that has a whole bunch of competition, and in this case, at least opening it up to foreign markets to put products here in reasonable and safe ways makes sense, but we've got such a high tariff on the imports, in addition to some of the FDA rules that really aren't about safety per se. They're just about some of the labeling instructions. But the point is, yeah, you've got some of these companies that are already doing business overseas. It seems pretty obvious to me that you can safely bring them here.
Yeah, I just don't get how the White House got so political on this issue. This is a non-political issue, feeding your children. I mean,
they turn everything political.
Yeah, well, they've managed to. I mean, Biden is, in fact, the great unifier. He's brought Americans on opposite sides of issues and politics together over one unifying point. Feed our babies. Jason Rantz, great to have you in focus. Thank you.